Please welcome back Mr. Keobo Sakuma.
Well, good afternoon, everyone. I hope that everyone had a chance to have a wonderful lunch over at Arungul Park or at one of the great restaurants nearby. We're going to head into the second half of today's events with a video remarks. So if you could please turn your attention to this screen for some remarks by Chairman Yohei Sasakawa from the Nippon Foundation on ocean challenges our Pacific communities face and solutions to address them. Thank you.
Ali, good afternoon. Your Excellency, Srangel Whips Jr., President, Republic of Palau. Your Excellency, Stephen Victor, Minister of Agriculture, Fisheries, and the Environment. The Honorable John Kerry, United States Special Presidential Envoy for Climate. Excellencies, distinguished delegates and participants, and dear friends of Palau. I'd like to express my admiration to the outstanding leadership of President Whips and former President Lemenso, and the total commitment of the people of Palau and all involved in hosting this important Our Ocean Conference as an in-person event, despite the difficulties of having to confront COVID-19 pandemic. The ocean, which is a public asset of mankind, is facing serious problems such as acidification, contamination by chemicals, and ocean debris. I believe that the ocean crisis is none other than a crisis of the survival of humankind. In the past, these global ocean issues were handled mainly by the big powers. But to delight the Republic of Palau, one of the first island nations to be affected by the worsening ocean environment, has now been asserting significant leadership. It is Palau that has proposed extraordinary ideas such as the development of sustainable blue economy and the creation of marine sanctuary for the preservation of the ocean, and now host the 7th Our Ocean Conference. I am very happy to see that the presence of Palau is gaining importance in the world. The oceans must be leveraged with discipline and in a peaceful manner, so as to pass on sustainable and healthy oceans for thousands of years into the future. For that, the Nippon Foundation will continue to cooperate with Palau, a country tightly bonded like brothers, both with Japan and through history. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Chairman Sasakawa, for your very encouraging words. The Sasakawa Foundation and the Nippon Foundation have been an enduring partner with Palau, and I'd encourage all of you to see a testament to that partnership at the marine law facilities. We have a brand new surveillance facility and patrol boat donated by the Nippon Foundation, which is helping to monitor our waters against IUU fishing. The next speaker that we have, it's my honor to introduce His Excellency Mohammed Aslam, the Minister of National Planning, Housing, and Infrastructure from the Maldives.
Thank you. Excellencies, dear friends, good afternoon. I was listening to the MC this morning, and I made a connection to him and to this country, although coming from a very far away place from Palau. It took 33 hours for me to come here. I thought, okay, it must be a strange place for me, ethnically not connected. But then he said something that I felt, it sounds like me. He said that he learned to swim before he learned to walk. I can't say that, but I don't remember learning to swim. Just the same way I don't remember learning to walk. So that connection I felt, that we small island states are connected, intertwined with each other. I don't see a better place to have an ocean conference than this country or somewhere in Pacific. The Pacific nations are custodians of the largest ocean in the world. So there can be no better place to have a conference like this. And I'm very glad to be here and addressing to you all. I'm sure this is going to be a very productive conference. We in the Maldives, our economy is mainly based on two things: tourism and fisheries. The largest revenue earner is from tourism. 1.7 million tourists visited Maldives in 2019. Of course, with the pandemic, things stopped. Well, we are bouncing back. It's coming back very well. And tourism is, if I look at it in a way that it's a very sustainable sort of economic activity for the country. Because what we sell to the tourists is a beautiful beach, a clean environment, colorful reefs. So we want to maintain, there is an economic reason for us to maintain our environment. I don't know if we did it purposely, whether, this is not in the name of protecting our environment, but it certainly does make sense for us, economic sense. Fisheries, that sector is the largest employment in the country. It's the second largest industry. Traditionally, we've been doing this, and we still continue to do it this way. We don't purseine, no trawlers in the Maldives. It's pole and line. We catch one by one. And our fishermen, they are really good doing that. A fishing boat on a good fishing day, one by one, can catch 40 tons of tuna. That's a lot of hard work and done in the most sustainable way. And we want to continue it like that. But then what do? We have to compete with the ones who fish unreported, illegally. We need to overcome that. We need to differentiate the fish that we catch, or the way we catch fish. That fish has to be differentiated from the ones that are caught, in an unsustainable way. That needs to happen. I don't see that mechanism existing, at least not in a proper manner. I wish to see every fish stamped, it is caught in a sustainable manner. If that happens, then I am sure everybody will turn into that mode of doing things. We, the small island states, including Maldives, yes, we are the frontline states, and we have the highest moral ground to speak about this. And we speak with authority when we speak about climate change. We may be the first ones to go if we have to go, but we won't be the last ones to go. Mother Earth will not have a problem in replacing us with a different species. The Earth has seen many global mass extinctions. 5, I understand, have gone before. We are in the 6th one. The difference between the last 5 and this one is this is man-made. We can stop this. The way to stop this, yes, we have to advocate, we have to talk, we have to take actions, but the actions are too slow. We need to speed up things. And the reason we are too slow is because we are not true believers of the problem. When we are the true believers, we do things. The pandemic is the best example for that. When we felt threatened, when we felt our species was threatened, we did everything, unimaginable things. We locked down our borders, shut down our economies, we kept people at home, and people stayed happily. We came up with vaccine in 6 months. First time ever such thing happened. Because we believed that we were threatened as a species. We believed it was a crisis. We need to start believing that climate change and the environmental problems we have, the pollution we have, the unsustainable way of doing things is a crisis. If we start believing in that, we can change it. I believe by the end of this conference, we would have achieved much, but I'm sure it won't be enough. We will have to do a lot more. And we small island states will have to continue to advocate and then make sure that the global community does it. Energy is something we need to be really, really concerned about now. With the war in Ukraine, we are so uncertain about our energy. We need to really, this is the time to really move forward, speed up on renewable. Technology exists. We're simply reluctant. I can't conclude my remarks here without mentioning about adaptation. I can tell you this. We are not going to leave Maldives. We will stay, we will fight, we will struggle, but we are not going to leave Maldives. To do that, we will have to adapt. Adaptation cost. I'm not here to beg for money, but I am here to beg for technology. I'm here to beg for knowledge. Of course, small island states, we have limited resources. Our human resources are limited. We need to know to do things better. When coastal erosion happens, we simply look at, somewhere out there in a continental country, big breakwaters built. We do the same thing. We would like to do things differently. We would like to find nature-based solutions. Please do help us. The ones who know, please do help us to find nature-based solutions. If that knowledge can be transferred to us, we will take care of ourselves. We will invest in renewables. We have embarked on a journey to stop usage of single-use plastic by end of next year. We are on a trajectory to go zero carbon, net zero, by 2030. Well, we will need some help. And I hope that help will come. I speak of these things very passionately. I want to live on my islands like my forefathers lived. I don't want my grandfather's grave to be washed away. I want to be buried on my island, and I want to see my children see my grave and them being buried there. For generations to come, that's where we want to live. Without your help, we will struggle, we will live, we will be there. Thank you very much.
Wow, what an inspiring presentation by His Excellency, the Minister. If anybody was feeling tired after lunch, that will really have gotten you out of your seats, I think. We'll now turn to the final speaker of the session. It's a true honor of mine to introduce from the Kingdom of Tonga, the Honorable Huakava Meiliku, the Prime Minister. Mr. Prime Minister.
Tamo toma fafi. Korven ge tulo he. Ngai fatap ko tope ko safaki. Ali, and I bring greetings from the Kingdom of Tonga. Mr. President, Excellencies, distinguished delegates, allow me at the outset to join others in congratulating you, Mr. President, on the assumption of your high office and for being the first small island developing state to host our ocean conference. As a member of the Pacific family, you have our full support. May I also thank you and your government for the superb arrangements and the very kind hospitality shown to our delegations since our arrival. This speaks volume of the humble generosity and kindness of the people of Palau. Mr. President, may I premise my remarks with the profound wisdom by renowned Pacific Island academic and ocean champion, the late Professor Ebeli Hauofa. And I quote, "Oceania is vast. Oceania is expanding. Oceania is hospitable and generous. Oceania is humanity rising from the depths of brine and the regions of fire deeper still. Oceania is us. We are the sea. We are the ocean." The Pacific region is 2% landmass and 98% water. And the Pacific Ocean is the largest and deepest ocean basin on Earth. So for a small island and large ocean states, it is critical to understand the interconnectivity between land and oceans for sustainable development, from the highlands to the high seas, where the connection between people, planet, and profit systems underpin security and livelihoods. And therefore, sustainable development requires a paradigm shift from sectorial to ecosystem-based approaches. Mr. President, as island communities, we encounter several ocean challenges, which are multifaceted. We are small island communities with small economies and capacities to manage our ocean alone. We are vulnerable to natural hazards and disasters, such as extreme weather events, climate change, volcanic eruption, and tsunamis, which was experienced in Tonga on the 15th of January of this year. We cannot control transboundary impacts on marine biodiversity caused by anthropogenic activities beyond our jurisdictions. These include pollution, illegal, unregulated, and unreported fishing, and other climate change impacts. The multifaceted nature of these challenges encountered by our island communities is one which we cannot address alone, and one which needs the support of the region and of the world. Mr. President, this particular conference is one of the many solutions to our multifaceted ocean challenges. Like the all-encompassing Sustainable Development Goals, your proposed areas of action are interlinked in their common intent, yet different in their approaches. We welcome these areas of action as they highlight the nexus between ocean and climate, critical ocean-based climate solutions, and the important issue of security, which are commonalities we all share. We are reminded that it is one ocean, and that appropriate solution can only come about through a proper understanding of our ocean and its ecosystems. Mr. President, as a small island and large ocean sovereign state, the government of Tonga is deeply tied and intertwined with the ocean, relying heavily upon marine biodiversity and resources for ecosystem services, from tourism to shipping to commercial and small-scale fishing. Increasing demand on resources and available technology have accelerated ocean activities and threats to its sustainability. Tonga believes that the solution to this is through robust legal frameworks, sufficient resourcing of enforcement agencies, and the most important of all is partnership. Partnership with public and private agencies allows small island communities like ours to access the resources we need to ensure the proper and effective management of our ocean. Mr. President, in Tonga, our efforts to address its multifaceted ocean problems decided it was vital to have a Tonga Ocean Plan. The process in developing Tonga's ocean plan goes back almost 20 years. And in 2013, government recommitted to this development, including its commitment at the UN Ocean Conference back in 2017 of protecting 30% of Tonga's waters by the year 2020, and establishing 100% locally managed marine areas by 2030. Tonga is proud to announce that we have a Tonga Ocean Management Plan in place since 2021. We have met this achievement of 30% no-take areas, including 100% sustainably managed marine areas within our EEZ. However, we still have a great deal to do yet in order to make a difference and ensure a sustainable future for current and future generations. I would like to take this opportunity to acknowledge and thank here the support from the Wade Foundation, the Wade Institute, Italian Ministry of Environment, IUCN, and GIZ for financial and technical assistance in developing of our Tonga Ocean Management Plan. In order to advance the work of our Tonga Ocean Management Plan, partnership and resources lie at the heart of the successful execution of a plan. Assistance in this respect is vital in upscaling the work implemented on the marine protected areas, development of compliance strategies, and implementation plans, particularly as it relates to nature-based solutions. To be a successful nation must both designate and implement marine protected areas. Implementation in turn requires significant financial resources, and small island big ocean developing state should not bear this cost alone. It is incumbent upon all nations, and particularly leading fishing nations, to provide the financial support needed for MPA implementation. As we look towards the UN Ocean Conference in Lisbon, I would call upon ocean leaders here to issue a statement summarizing the key action to achieve sustainable finance for marine protection. Mr. President, to conclude my remarks, I would like to emphasize that addressing ocean challenges is an immense task which a single island cannot undertake. Sustainable financing, partnership, cooperation, and cooperations are instrumental in how we can address our common challenges. I thank you. Mahalo.